Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. So for today's video, I'm going to be sharing with you guys how I created this easy glam night out look. So if you guys are interested to see how I created this look and what products I use, please keep on watching. Alrighty guys, so let's get right into this. The first thing that I did was I put this concealer. This is the Too Faced Born This Way multi-sculpting concealer in the shade Shortbread. I pretty much put this on all areas of my face because I did run out of my foundation. So I blended it all out, and then I went ahead and I went in with this Sephora brand Matte Perfection Powder Foundation. This is in the shade 12, which is Fair Warm. As you can see, I have already used a lot of it. I really love this product. So pretty much for now, I've just been using that, especially since I haven't been wearing too much makeup. And I'm kind of liking the fact that it's a powdered foundation instead of wearing a creamy foundation, since my skin can be a little bit oily. But anyways, this is gonna lead to my very first, well actually my first two tips for this video. So for my first tip, I wanna talk about the application of foundation or concealer or whatever it is that you use for coverage, but mainly for foundation. So I see a lot of people and they use a beauty blender. It's obviously really popular, but the only issue I have with a beauty blender is that it does absorb a lot of product. So you could be putting a lot of foundation and this is taking up probably half, if not more, of the product. So not only are you wasting a lot of product, but you're also putting a lot on your face for absolutely no reason at all. So what I do is I take my brush, I blend out all my foundation all across my face, and then I go back in with my beauty blender and I just lightly tap over my face to make sure that if there's any leftover streaks of foundation or if there's anything not blended or anything clumpy, I go ahead and I get my beauty blender and I still get that really airbrush lightweight feel while not wasting so much product. So honestly guys, you should try this out. I use both and I have absolutely loved this method, this technique that I've been using, and I've just been saving on product and using a lot less on my face. So yeah, you guys should totally try that. Alrighty guys, so for my next tip as far as applying foundation, I'm going to be showing you guys, well not really showing because I already do have it on my face, but pretty much just explaining to you how I go about applying my foundation. Okay, so instead of going ahead and putting the product on all parts of my face and blending from there, I like to use one part of my face, blend that whole area out first before I move on to another part of my face. Now, why do I do this? I feel that when you put a product all over your face, there's a high chance that you might be overdoing it, and at that point it's already all over your face and now you have to work with blending it all out, because if not it's going to look too cakey. Now when you work with one part of your face at a time, if there is too much product, while you're blending you can kind of spread it along different areas of your face, so that way you're not using a lot of product and you're still getting the right amount of coverage while keeping a little bit more of a natural look. Alrighty guys, so moving on to the next step, which is going to be my brows. Right now the only thing I have on it is actually a product that I do really want to share with you guys. It's something that I recently bought from Amazon. It is this brow styling soap. I don't know how to pronounce the brand, but it's there if you guys can see it. Pretty much I have been using this because I have been growing out my brows, especially during this quarantine. I'm sure a lot of people are already growing out their brows. But I wanted my brows to kind of look a little bit thicker and the hairs to give that like feathery look, because I know that is a trend right now and I'm really loving it, especially with my eyebrows already like grown out. So I've been using this soap. So what I do is I wet this spoolie and I pretty much drag it along the soap and I just apply it to my eyebrows so that they kind of stick up like this. I don't know if you guys can see. Alrighty guys, so the next step is going to be to contour my face. So I'm going to go ahead and go in with this butter bronzer from Physicians Formula. This is my favorite bronzer, which leads me to my tip number 3. So I would say if you have fair skin, always try to make sure to get a shade that is light. So even though you're bronzing your face, you don't want to use something that's really dark, because then you're going to see those really harsh lines regardless if you blend it. It's just not going to look natural. So I usually go in with this bronzer, and this is in the shade light. They do have a darker one. And especially for beginners like me, this bronzer is really, really easy to blend out. You pretty much just take a little angled fluffy brush, tap it in there, and just start blending away. So now that my bronzer is done, I'm going to go ahead and go in with my favorite blush from Milani. This is in the shade 02. I don't know if you guys can see it here. It is such a pretty shade. I love this blush. So I go ahead and take one of my little angled brushes. I tap into the blush, which leads me to my next tip. Whenever you're using any powdered products, I always recommend to tap off so that any excess falls off and doesn't create any fallout on your face. Some people think that that only applies to eyeshadow, but it also applies to any blush or bronzers. Alrighty guys, so now that my bronzer and my blush is already applied, now I'm going to go in with my favorite highlight, which is from ColourPop, and it's this Super Shock shadow in the shade Lunch Money. These shadows are really, really pretty. I've already used it a bit. I don't know if you guys can see the color there. Really, really nice. So I'm going to go ahead and take one of my little fan brushes. I don't know why, but I've stopped seeing people using these as much. So I'm not sure why, because I kind of really like these. But I'm just going to go ahead and lightly apply it to my face. Just do the other side. I don't even know if I'm putting this in here correctly. Alrighty guys, so now I'm going to go back in with my bronzer. I'm going to take a little fluffy brush. I'm going to tap it into the product. Of course, tap off the excess. I don't know if you guys can see in the video, but there was a lot of excess product that comes off the brush when you tap it. And then I'm basically just going to go in little motions like this back and forth and use this as my eyeshadow shade. So I'm going to go back and forth, and then I'm going to go in the corners and kind of do a flick out motion. I don't know how other way to explain that, but yeah, we're just going to go back and forth. Alrighty guys, so after I apply the bronzer to my eyelids, I'm going to go ahead and take my ColourPop highlight again. I'm going to put my finger on it and then just lightly apply some of that onto my eyelids, just to give a little bit of shine, a little bit of shimmer, so it's not just the brown color. This is kind of like a cheat way to make it look like you know what you're doing, but you really don't. Alrighty, so after I've curled my lashes, now I'm going to go in with my favorite mascara. This is the Thrive Cosmetics Liquid Lash Extensions Mascara. I cannot talk good enough about this product. This mascara is absolutely amazing. It makes it look like you have super long lashes. It doesn't clump up, and you literally don't even need to wear lash extensions with this. Alrighty guys, so now that I finished applying my mascara, now I'm going to go in with my favorite eyeliner at the moment, which is this Sephora brand eye pencil in the shade White, obviously. And I'm going to go ahead and apply this in my waterline to really open up my eyes. So for my next tip, before I go in with this matte lipstick, I always recommend that you use a really good lip balm, whatever lip balm that you already have. You can go ahead and put it on your lips, but make sure to put a little bit extra to make sure that you're really, really moisturizing your lips before you go in with a product that's gonna, you know, make them feel a little bit dry. Just to kind of prevent any like cracking of your lipstick, especially with liquid lipsticks, they always tend to start cracking, and I absolutely hate how that looks. So I totally recommend using this lip balm if you don't already have one. This is the, oh, I just noticed it was upside down. Here you go, guys. This is the Robert Rogers Restore Healing Balm. As you can see, I've used a lot of it. This stuff is really good. It's basically like a Neosporin, but it's for skincare. So you can put it on your lips, you can put it on any scabs you might have on your face. Alrighty, so now that my lips are fully moisturized, I'm gonna go in with my, also another product from ColourPop. This is the ColourPop Liquid Lipstick in the shade Star-Crossed. It's a beautiful, beautiful red shade. So I'm gonna go ahead and apply that and I will be right back. Alrighty guys, so now that everything is all done, now I'm gonna go in with my favorite setting spray. This is the Rosé Spray from Grace and Stella. I love this spray. The mist is very, very fine and it also smells really, really good. So I'm gonna go ahead and set my face and then I'll be right back. Alrighty guys, that is all for today. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please make sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. I will be posting every Sunday, so look out for that. And I'll see you guys next week. Bye!